Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A quick reminder of our major stories now. President Muhammadu Buhari asked Nigerians to remain hopeful of seeing a new nation as he felicitates with Christians on Easter. The Minister of Transportation, Chukwuka Amaechi, distanced himself from the huge cash haul recovered from a luxury apartment in the Ikoyi area of Lagos. A community in Kwara State cries out for justice over the alleged killing of a man by the police. And at least 45 persons killed in Syria after a car bomb rips through a convoy of evacuees from government-held towns near Aleppo. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, is channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Just log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature though, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. And here are some pictures you sent into our Eyewitness portal. Let's begin with this one, shall we? From Ile-Ife in Osun State, showing cattle grazing on the street. Our Eyewitness reporter wants this practice discouraged as it impedes traffic flow. And from Osogbo Ilorin Highway in Kwara State comes this picture. It shows people sitting on an overloaded truck. Our Eyewitness reporter is raising concerns over the danger this portends for these commuters and other road users. But men of the Federal Road Safety Corps seem to be standing up to this challenge, as seen in this picture from Benin, the Edo State capital. Well, according to our Eyewitness reporter, they are controlling traffic that might surface during this Easter period at Ahor around Benin bypass. He commends them for this and has asked them to keep it up. Finally, is this image from Katsina in Katsina State. It shows children whom our Eyewitness reporters say are urchins, popularly called almajiri, begging for their breakfast. He appeals to governors of northern states of the country to discourage this trend and provide the young boys with formal education or vocational training. We do sincerely thank you for these pictures. Please know that you too can report events around you. Let's focus on the Almajiri matter, shall we? The social problem resulting from the education system in the northern part of the country has been a subject of discussion at different fora in recent times. Elder statesman and former Vice-Chancellor Ahmadu Bello University, Professor Ango Abdullahi, has described the phenomenon as a social shame. Professor Abdullahi said this at a forum organized by the Academic Staff Union of Universities in Bauchi to address the issue as well as the general education crisis in northern Nigeria. Other speakers at the event also voiced their concern on the matter.
The Almajiri phenomenon has been a contentious issue in northern Nigeria. Several attempts have been made in futility to address the social challenge in the region. Recently, the Kano State Governor announces over 3 million Almajiris in Nigeria. This gathering has brought together educationists, religious leaders and government officials to chart a way forward. An elder statesman and former Vice-Chancellor of the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Professor Ango Abdullahi, could not hide his emotions while expressing his disappointment over the predominant Almajiri issue.
To me, the Almajiri phenomenon is a social shame in northern Nigeria. We are not the only Muslims in West Africa. We are not even the only Muslims in Nigeria. But why is it that the Hausa Fulani children are the main issue at stake today?
Other speakers believe the phenomenon thrives due to leadership failure in the conventional education system.
The big question mark now is that contemporary leadership in Nigeria is incompetent. In fact, I would say they are fantastically incompetent to address this phenomena. They can't address the phenomena because they don't understand it in the first place. They are not applying knowledge. In my state, a governor developed a Sangaya school system, which he thinks is a solution. This Sangaya school system actually is an apartheid school system because that governor will not take his children to Sangaya. The fundamental thing really is to provide enough fund for education in Nigeria. If you want to solve this problem, it's the problem of the crisis of Nigerian education system. Give enough fund so that every Nigerian citizen will be educated from kindergarten to university level.
On the other hand, Bauchi State Governor, represented by his deputy, Engineer Nuhu Gidadu, blames it on system collapse and throws the challenge to the youth.
Up to our category, up to our generation, Suleg, we have failed the nation. We have failed these innocent people that are coming up.
As they depart, together they send a strong message to the government of the day and major players to be socially responsible for the plight of every Nigerian child.
3 years after the abduction of her daughter, Esther Yakubu has been speaking of the pains she's had to bear over this period. Mrs. Yakubu, who appears to be the face of the Chibok mothers, yesterday confronted the police as she marched alongside another Chibok mother, demanding that they be given access to the presidential villa. She told Channels Television that the anguish she felt with the disappearance of her daughter has not reduced.
For you to not be together with your child at least for 3 years is not easy. But for the will of God, for the grace of God, we have 24. We say thank you. But we want them to put more effort so that the other ones will be back, so that we will rejoice all together. Really, it's not easy for a child to go searching for education, and in her final year, she just disappears and nowhere to be found. You know, it's not easy really. It affects my other kids because when we are there in Chibok, the younger one and the siblings immediately after her, they are in first position. But as for now, the education barrier is back because they are afraid of being taken away from their school. No matter whether they are in Chibok or not in Chibok, they say they are not feeling at home because maybe they think that somebody will come and pick them from their school any moment, anytime, anywhere. Anytime I saw the other kids, when we are eating or praying, and the other one is not among, I must think about her. Always day and night, every second. I can't stay with my kids. If not because of this, I don't think I will be separated from my kid for so long like this. But I thank God for the God Almighty. He has made it possible for me. If not, I don't know that I will stand here to be interviewed.
The Lagos State government in February this year announced its plan to ban the popular commercial yellow buses from major roads in the city. As expected, reactions have trailed this announcement from motorists especially. Channels Television took to the streets to feel the pulse of the people on this decision. Our correspondent Victoria Ido reports.
Lagos is the most populous city in Nigeria, one of the fastest growing cities in Africa, with a population of 17.5 million people. Having acquired the status of a megacity, Lagos appears to be in a hurry to replicate what is seen in other megacities. Successive administrations in the state have implemented policies in line with this aim to move Lagos in that direction. The current administration of Governor Akinwumi Ambode appears not to be left out in this drive.
I'm not too sure. When I wake up in the morning, I see all these yellow buses, and then I see Okada, I see all sides of tricycles, and I say this is a mega city. That's not true. But I tell you what, I want to banish yellow buses this year.
An important factor in creating a functional international city is effective transportation system. At present, moving around the city of Lagos can be a tough experience, as the major means of transportation is by road, dominated by the commercial yellow buses known as Danfo. These are the buses commuters use to access various parts of the city until the introduction of the Bus Rapid System (BRT). For years, the yellow buses have provided livelihood for people like 33-year-old Adesoji Sulaiman.
But it's very unfair. Like many guys on the streets doing this job. Some are graduates. Like my brother said, I'm a bus conductor. I'm a graduate. Guy from Ekiti State University, but I don't have anything to do. So that's why I'm doing this job.
But all that may change soon, as the state government plans to phase out the yellow buses. This comes with several consequences.
The passenger will suffer because there's no enough vehicle.
Banning yellow buses is going to bring hardship to the passengers.
Although opinions are divided as to whether or not this is a good idea, one question that resonates is what effect will the ban have on the people who depend on this business as a means of livelihood?
I think it's a step in the right direction, and it is something that is long overdue. However, certain steps need to be put in place. Firstly, what happens to the present drivers of these yellow buses?
I think government should give it a second thought that these people, this driver, they have family that they are taking care of. If they drive them off the road, what are they going to do?
A question that must be answered.
They will get engaged, they will become employed, they will be absorbed by the new scheme, within the new scheme that we are bringing, and they will be trained.
Is it possible with the population of drivers, commercial drivers, professional drivers in Lagos State, can Lagos State government, can they absorb all those? That's the question.
How does the Lagos State government plan to make this work? And especially, which routes will the new buses ply?
They will come in two different types. The longer ones, which can take about 60 to 70 people, and the medium-sized one, which can take about 30 to 40 people. They will come in blue and white buses, fully air-conditioned. And our concern this year and a good part of next year will be to restrict the yellow Danfo buses from the metropolis. And so for the first phase, the yellow buses will have to move towards the interland in the same manner that we restricted the commercial motorcycles, the Okadas.
The bus drivers believe there is a better way for everyone to get what they want. A mega city for the state government and a source of income for the bus drivers.
A large percentage of people who spoke to Channels Television during the course of this report wants the government to create an alternative source of income for the bus drivers and conductors that may be displaced by this plan, and also an affordable transportation for the thousands that travel Lagos roads every day. Victoria Udo, reporting for Channels Television News.
When the news at 10 returns, Naira expected to strengthen next week following planned increase in dollar sales to retail currency traders by the central bank. That's on Business News. Join us again.